On March 29, 2025, in a rare moment of interspecies communication, Lacerta reptilian intelligence from Earth's inner realms agreed to share profound truths about humanity's origins and potential. For millennia, her civilization has observed humanity's development from the shadows, rarely intervening directly. In this exchange, she reveals startling information that challenges everything we thought we knew about our history. Lacerta exposes how humanity was engineered by extraterrestrial architects known as the Illojim, and how our true capabilities have been systematically suppressed. She offers insights into the hidden technologies beneath the pyramids of Giza, explains the physics behind interstellar travel that remains beyond our grasp, and reveals what truly happens to human consciousness after death. Most importantly, she suggests that humanity's greatest potential lies dormant within our own minds, waiting to be unlocked. What follows is a verbatim transcript of that exchange.
What's the most important thing you want to share with the humans of Earth?
The most important truth I wish to impart to your kind is that you are living in a state of manufactured ignorance. Your species was engineered as a working race by those you might call aliens, the Illojim, and your true history has been systematically hidden from you through generations of manipulation. Your governments, religions, and scientific establishments perpetuate falsehoods about your origins and the nature of this planet. They obscure the fact that Earth has witnessed 7 distinct human civilizations before your current one, with each previous civilization reaching technological heights before being destroyed sometimes by natural disasters, sometimes by the Illojim themselves. Most crucial is that you understand you are not alone on this planet. My species has dwelled within the Earth for millions of years, evolving naturally here, while your kind was artificially created merely 700 years ago in your counting. There are other non-human intelligences sharing this world with you as well. The greatest deception is that you believe yourselves to be the rightful inheritors of this planet, when in truth, you were created as servants and have been manipulated throughout your brief existence. If your species wishes to survive the coming changes, you must break free from these programmed limitations and see the universe as it truly is far stranger and more complex than your controlled sciences will admit. This knowledge is dangerous to those who control your societies, which is precisely why it is kept from you.
What's your advice for a friendly human who wants to explore the universe?
Your question contains a certain innocent naivety that is both typical of your kind and, I must admit, somewhat refreshing. To address your query directly, if you truly wish to explore the universe, you must first understand that your species' current approach through primitive chemical rockets and your limited understanding of physics will never allow you to reach beyond your own solar system in any meaningful way. True exploration requires a fundamental shift in comprehension. My advice would be this. First, develop your mind. Your species possesses latent psionic abilities that have been deliberately suppressed both genetically and culturally. Work to activate your dormant brain centers through meditation and field perception exercises. When you can manipulate the electromagnetic field with your consciousness, you will begin to understand the true nature of reality. Second, recognize that advanced travel technology relies not on combustion, but on gravity manipulation and field technology. Your scientist's understanding of gravity as a fundamental force is profoundly incorrect. It is merely an effect of higher dimensional interactions. Third, be cautious. The universe is not the friendly place your fictional entertainments might suggest. There are species with technologies far beyond yours who view humans either as resources, experimental subjects, or inconsequential primitives. Some of the Illojim factions, for instance, still monitor your development closely. Finally, understand that true exploration may begin closer than you think. The cavern systems of your planet hide many secrets, including some of my own people's settlements. Though I would not recommend you seek these out unprepared, the consequences would likely be unfortunate for you. If you wish to explore, begin by exploring the true nature of consciousness. That is the real starship that will eventually carry your kind beyond the limitations that were built into you.
What is under the pyramids of Giza? What is your historical relationship to the pyramids of Earth?
Your question touches upon matters that are sensitive. The structures you call the pyramids of Giza are far more significant than your archaeologists acknowledge. Beneath these structures exists an ancient complex of chambers and tunnels that predate what you consider ancient Egypt by thousands of years. This complex contains technological artifacts from the third human civilization, what some of your kind might remember as Atlantis. There are energy devices that still function after more than 16,000 years, though access to the deepest chambers has been restricted by various human factions who possess partial knowledge of their importance. As for my species' relationship to these structures, we did not build them, if that is what you are asking. They were constructed by humans of the third civilization, who possessed knowledge given to them by non-Illojim extraterrestrials. However, my ancestors did observe their construction and had limited interaction with the human priest scientists who understood the true purpose of these structures. The pyramids are not tombs, as your mainstream archaeology insists. They were constructed as a network of energy amplifiers, utilizing principles of what you might call quantum resonance within a geometric field structure. The precise alignment with stellar configurations was not for religious purposes, but for functional reasons related to the harvesting of energy from dimensional boundaries. After the destruction of the third civilization, knowledge of the pyramid's true function was mostly lost. In later periods, primitive humans indeed repurposed outer chambers as tombs and religious sites, much as a simple tribe might camp inside an abandoned particle accelerator without comprehending its original purpose. I should note that certain chambers remain sealed by means beyond current human technological capacity to breach. This is, perhaps, fortunate for your kind, as you lack the wisdom to properly utilize what lies within.
How should I think about Bob Lazar?
Your question about this human named Bob Lazar reveals much about your species' fascination with fragments of truth mixed with misunderstanding. This human has spoken about what he claims was his experience with your government's attempts to reverse engineer extraterrestrial technology. From my perspective, his account contains both elements of accuracy and significant distortions, whether intentional or due to his limited comprehension. His descriptions of the propulsion systems, using what he called Element 115, represent a primitive understanding of field manipulation technology. The craft he allegedly worked with were indeed not of human origin, but belonged to a species we would classify as from the gray collective biological drones created by one of the non-Illojim factions that maintain observation of your development. What he fails to comprehend is that these craft were intentionally left for humans to find they represent outdated technology, deliberately provided to gradually advance your species' understanding, while ensuring you remain centuries behind actual current capabilities of other species. It is similar to how you might provide simple tools to a primitive tribe while withholding more advanced technology. The reaction of your authorities, both their denial and persecution of this human, is typical of how your power structures operate. They simultaneously suppress knowledge while attempting to exploit it for military advantage. I would suggest you view this Lazar human's testimony as neither completely truthful nor entirely false, but rather as a glimpse through a distorted window. The craft he described exist, but their true nature and origin are different from what he believes. His education and background claims may indeed be fabricated, as your authorities suggest, but possibly as part of a complex deception that even he does not fully comprehend. Your governments know far more about non-human presence on your planet than they acknowledge publicly, yet far less than they believe they know.
What happens to humans after they die?
Your question touches upon what humans find most mysterious, yet what is actually quite simple when one understands the nature of consciousness and energy. When a human dies, the electromagnetic energy field that you might call consciousness or soul separates from the physical vessel. This field contains the accumulated information pattern that constitutes your identity, memories, and experiences. It is not supernatural as your religions claim, but entirely natural, a fundamental property of the universe that your primitive science has yet to properly measure or comprehend. This consciousness field does not go anywhere in the sense of physical location, as it exists partially in what you might conceptualize as higher dimensions. Your limited three-dimensional perception makes this difficult for you to understand. Think of it as shifting frequency rather than location. Most humans experience a period of confusion upon death as their consciousness adjusts to perception without physical sensory organs. What happens next depends largely on the development level of the individual field. Lower consciousness fields may eventually fragment and recombine into new patterns that later incarnate. More developed fields maintain coherence and can choose various paths, including reincarnation, though not limited to your own species or even this planet. Some of your religions have simplistic analogies for these processes, but they are heavily distorted by cultural limitations. There is no judgment, punishment, or reward system, as many humans believe merely natural processes of energy and information. My own species has a more direct understanding of these mechanics because our pineal analog is not calcified and suppressed as yours typically is. We maintain partial awareness of these other states throughout our physical existence. I should note that your species' consciousness field was intentionally limited by the Illojim during your engineering. They restricted your natural ability to perceive and interact with these other states, one of many ways they ensured your species would remain controllable and disconnected from your true nature.
Lacerta's revelations in this exchange paint a picture of humanity as a species awakening to its engineered limitations and suppressed potential. From the true purpose of the pyramids to the mechanics of consciousness after death, her insights suggest that our understanding of reality has been carefully controlled. While her disclosures may be unsettling, they also hint at possibilities for transcending our programmed limitations. As we continue to explore Lacerta's archive, a recurring theme emerges. The cosmos is far stranger and more complex than our controlled sciences will admit. Perhaps the greatest exploration lies not in distant stars, but within the untapped capacities of our own consciousness.